Day, it's another day and another scholarship, and today we'll be traveling down to United States of America for scholarship. Quick one, I'd love you to remember that I've always said on my channel, you can go with a bachelor's degree directly to PhD in the United States of America without a master's. One, United States of America accept a 2-2. Many universities accept a 2-2. That's a second class lower, and they also accept HND. And so please pay careful attention as we tide through and look through the requirement of the school for today. So welcome to Ohio State University, where we are going to be considering the school and looking through the courses, funding opportunities, and the deadlines. So to start with, let's go to the academic settings. So we look at the graduate degree programs and see what do they have. Let's know the courses, let's know the financial implication. And here we are at the degree programs. Of course, you need to check through what is your area of interest. There are over 296 degrees, and so I'll just sample one or two. We're going to look at political sciences. And here we are at the political science department. A PhD, there's no master's on the list, just a PhD straight. And you can read through what the undergraduate program offers a rich array of this. Now, what do you have to take note of? Program information. For you to get any program information, you need to check here. But this way we're going to, one is what is the criteria. Then we'll go back to the funding. They have a criteria, general minimum criteria you can read through. Now, the GRE general test is required for this. However, there are some exemptions, and so we'll look for the international students. General minimum criteria. This is the general minimum criteria, and in it you need to know the deadline. So let's check what is the deadline for this course. There are two sets of requirements. Number one, we have the equivalent of a 4-year bachelor's degree, so you must have graduated with a BSc from an accredited university and an expected date. Then you need a minimum of 3.0 GPA on a 4 scale or equivalent for the last bachelor's degree or advanced degree. 3.0 on a 4.0 scale, and then by default that means a 4.0 on a 5.0 scale. Your transcript and then your standardized test. Your degree must be from if your degree is from an unaccredited. So that is if you are from an accredited college or university, you may not need GRE or GMAT. Now, for international students, there's an additional requirement. But let's check the deadline. What is the deadline for this program? As an international student, you need to know the following: proof of English proficiency. So let's see it. Now, success at Ohio, it depends on your ability to use English very well, and so they have this requirement: TOEFL, IELTS, and Duolingo. Now there are some exemptions. Let's look at the exemptions and which country are exempt. Applicants who are citizens of or who have received a bachelor's degree or higher by the time of matriculation from one of the following countries are exempt from English proficiency requirement, namely Australia, Belize, British Caribbean, British West Indies, Canada, except for Quebec. Why is Quebec exempted? Quebec is a French-speaking state within Canada. We have England, we have Ghana, so one of African countries is there. Guyana, you have Ireland, we have Liberia, and another African country is there. We have New Zealand, we have Nigeria, because Nigeria is now listed on so many universities portal as exempted. We have Northern Ireland, Singapore, Scotland, and so English proficiency policy has been set for this academic year. We are not granting test waivers, so good. Thank goodness, Nigeria, Ghanaians, Liberians are exempted. Now, either you're a citizen of this country or you studied in these countries, you are exempted. So there's no need struggle to apply for waiver, you just need to put your country and automatically it will remove you from the list of this. Now, if you are admitted with few exceptions, international students, including those who were exempted from English, are required to sit for this upon arrival. In addition, if you are awarded a graduate teaching assistantship and English is not your first language, you'll be required to certify your oral before assuming associate. Now, you can read more on requirements after you are admitted, but I want us to look at the funding opportunities. So this is considered funding and financial aid. Now, how do they fund you in this school? There's associateships, and fellowships. Now, funding decisions are made largely by each graduate program. Now, let's look at it. But to be considered for this, there's a quick disclaimer here that I would love you to take note of so that you don't miss out on the applications. Yeah, this column, you need to take good note of it. To be considered for funding consideration, check the boxes on the admission application under funding opportunities. Please make sure you do this. Please make sure you do this, so you don't apply and then you're stranded. Please make sure you do this. Check them well. Check all the boxes there. Please make sure you do it. Now check one or more. You can check all of them if you like, but make sure you check them so that if you're not considered for one, you can be considered for another. Now, what is associateships? Let's look at it. In most cases, it is awarded for teaching, research, or administration, and they are primary source of financial assistance provided to graduate students. Most graduate associations provide a 12-month tuition fee. That means that cater for your school fees throughout the course of study, and a 9-month stipend. So you have allowance. It also gives you subsidized health insurance in exchange for 20 hours of work per week for 9 months. Now, association positions generally begin in autumn term and are renewable depending upon. So if you perform well throughout your PhD, you can run on this: the tuition, the 9 months stipend, the subsidized health insurance, just by committing 20 hours of work. To be eligible for consideration, you need only to meet the admission and deadline requirement of your program. That's all. Admission requirement, English proficiency, graduation, grade of graduation, country of residency. Just meet those requirements and then submit before the deadline for this. You will automatically consider. You don't need separate application for it. The same thing goes for fellowship. However, fellowship is very competitive. Because it awards a monthly stipend, it provides a tuition waiver and subsidized health insurance. That's why it's extremely competitive. But it is not impossible to secure. So that's why I will advise that you click both fellowship and associateships. Apply for all, and if you're considered for whichever one, it goes a long way. Even if you're considered for the first association, which just give you a stipend for 9 months, it is a good thing because you can augment it with a financial aid or loan. Good thing about Ohio State University is that on their welcome page, they have a quick disclaimer that they can grant you a 3 years work permit visa upon graduation from their school. So if you take a loan, you can clear it up and still choose to stay back or leave the country. Now, if you want to go for loan, you can go by February. You can submit your application on or before February 1, so that you can be considered for federal loan. And if it is by student employment, you also have this, including graduate associatships. So funding for international students go through the same route. So, noting that deadlines is program specific, I am on the political science and we are going through political science. Let's check the deadline. Click on the apply and you see the deadlines here. Okay, application deadline for autumn 2024. US applicants are expected to apply before December 1st, 2023, but international applicants are expected to apply before November 29, 2023. Now look at the application deadline. If applying for funding, 2 types of funding. For fellowships, US applicants are to apply for this. Don't forget, fellowship is the most generous. It pays you throughout the 12 months every month, and it waives your school fees entirely plus health insurance while associateship takes care of school fees on a 12 months basis. That's yearly. If you perform well this year and you meet satisfactory performance, your school fees will take care of the following year, all of that. But this one pays everything once, and of course you are still expected to perform satisfactorily. Now, other requirement is that you need to write a statement of purpose, 1 or 2 pages, describing your interest in political science and probable major field of study and career. You need a CV that is no more than 2 pages. You need 3 letters of recommendation, and a writing sample is required. What is the writing sample? Is a research proposal, a sub research proposal stuff. So you put that together. Once you put that together, and you have all of that, all you need to do is to come here and click the apply button, and you are good to go. Quickly, I'll check on another faculty. Let me check on in Earth Sciences. So now we are the Earth Sciences faculty. I want to check Doctor of Philosophy. I do not want to go through the masters because Earth Sciences faculty have masters. I want to check on the PhD straight up. So what are the requirements they have? Let's check their funding opportunity. Now, what is the funding they have? They also, now you can see that deadlines are program specific. The political science US applicants December 1, international applicants November 29. Now, earth sciences US applicants December 1, while international applicants December 30th. You note that difference. Now, for graduate research assistantship or graduate teaching assistantship in the autumn is December 1, while summer and spring applications are considered under special circumstances. So if you apply for fellowships, submit before this period. But if you are applying for graduate research assistantship or graduate teaching assistantship, December 1st is the deadline for all. Now, whichever one you go by is dependent on when you submit that they will consider you for which are you interested in. But if you ask me, I will advise that you submit your applications before November 30th. Why? You will be setting a bid to qualify for both fellowships and autumn. So depending on the resources available, you might be considered for whichever one, and of course they will consider you first for the best if your application stand one of the strongest. Now, that being said, let's check the deadline and the requirements. You see, international applicant are to deadline for spring of 2024, they are to submit the application by 23rd October, while US applicants submit by December 15th for spring of 2024. But if they are going for summer 2024, US applicant is June 23rd 2024, while international applicant February 20th 2024. If you are going for autumn application, US applicant is submitted by July 31st 2024, while international applicant is submitted by June 2024. Whichever one. But to be considered for funding, you must submit within this period, December 1st and November 30th. Don't get carried away by this unique and extremely spacious application window. Now, what are the special information recommended undergraduate degree that is acceptable to further a PhD is biological sciences, geological sciences, physical sciences, and engineering. Now, what are the requirements? You can see the requirement which is program specific. We can look at the requirements. Now, there is something. Here we are at the program. Now, look at it, the SES and MS thesis, and just read through gradually. But there's so now, if you are interested in our graduate program, explore the faculty pages. Is a quick disclaimer that you must take note of. This line, read it through, and feel free to contact individual faculty about their research and opportunities in their research groups. While graduate applications are considered on a rolling basis, those interested in teaching assistantships or university fellowship should apply by late fall to receive full consideration for the following academic year. Please see how to apply and email the graduate program coordinator, Ms. Angie Rogers. or this. So when you see how to apply, it guides you on what to go into and what not to do. So when you're applying, before you apply, look at it. You must contact potential advisors by phone, email, or in person to ask about student opportunities in their group. So this means you must have a potential supervisor. And on this YouTube channel, I've already shot a video on how to write email, cold mails to lecturers. So just go to the directory, and then you see people whose interest aligns with your vision, and then you contact them, send them a cold mail. Once they reply you, you can take it off from there, get to an interview. I explained that fully, so watch the video and you will not have a problem. Then you apply. When you're done with them, then you now apply for admissions to the school using the graduate admissions application. Applicants applying for fellowship, you see it is emphasized again that you should check the appropriate boxes on the graduate portal. Please ensure you do this. Check it well so that you don't miss out. Then the deadline to, and then university fellowships, of course. By that time, beware that requests to those writing letters of support to you do not contain application deadline. Please inform your letter writers of the deadline. That is, those writing your recommenders from your former professors, let them know that there is a deadline and they need to work and send in their letter before that deadline. If not, your application will not be considered. Then they evaluate your application using a holistic rubric. You want to know what the holistic rubric is, you can click on that, and then they check out the evaluation categories carefully. And so, with that being said, for information on application fee waivers, you can click here. A quick one, when you click on that place for application fee waiver, you come across a document that is designed, that has information about schools that you can apply to that are in partnership with Big Ten Academic Alliance graduate schools, who waive academic application fees for students. So you can see them all the way from University of Illinois to the University of Wisconsin-Madison. They all have a partnership with them, and so when you connect to them, you can click on the link and read through, and it will help you to secure an application fee waiver, and you're good to go. I hope that this helps you. You can check other courses. Every course in the Ohio State University have fully funding scholarships depending on your application program and when you apply. So I hope you can look at other scholarship. If your course is not one of the ones I mentioned, look through it and take your time to put in your application. You have a long window that you can satisfy and meet your requirement. The cold mail video is on this channel. Look for it, explore it, and maximize the information there for you. Use the video there, the samples there as a template to draft yours. Set it unique. Do the little work you need to do to check out the profile of your potential supervisors and reach out to them. I'm sure you're going to get it. So if there are any other challenge you have and you love me to shoot a video around it or to put a guide on it, please do not forget to leave a comment. Comment on it in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel and share so that you can help others in this application window period. See you in the subsequent video. Ta-da!